Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you again. Today I want to get into a pair of kicks that I should have been more patient on. I always tell people in my comments, be patient. Patience pays off. You can get them for cheaper if you wait. But in this case, my own fear of missing out on this pair caused me to pull the trigger a little prematurely, because now they're selling on the resale market for $30 to $40 less than what I paid on them. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at this pair of kicks that I should have been more patient on. And before we get started, I gotta give a huge shout out and happy late Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, to my own mom, to the mother of my kids. Huge thank you to all you women out there taking care of your kids, and just us men as well. I can't imagine how we'd make it without y'all. I usually don't pay resale prices unless it's below retail. It's rare for me to miss out on a shoe and then get on one of the resale sites, whether it be GOAT, eBay, StockX. It's rare for me to go on and pull the trigger and pay over retail price if I struck out, just because typically I realize there's more shoes coming around, I'll have another chance at them, that sort of thing. In this instance, I had already struck out on the previous releases of this series. Struck out on all of them, and after seeing what the prices of those shoes did, I thought that these would be out of my price range pretty quick. And without too much suspense, I'll go ahead and fill you in on what it is. It's the Mambacita Protro 8. I have reviewed the Mambacita Protro 6 on the channel. That one is probably still my favorite out of the Mambacita line. They've done a 6, they've done a 4, and now most recently they did a Protro 8. These dropped on, I believe, May 1st, which I think is Gianna's birthday, and this is a series that is meant to pay tribute to Kobe Bryant's late daughter, Gigi, who tragically passed away in the helicopter crash that claimed Kobe's life as well. I believe this is the same box that we saw on the Mambacita Protro 4. I don't think the Mambacita 6s came in this box, but this is exactly what we got for the 4s. You can see that it's got the number 2 with the wings and the halo on it, and then it says Mambacita there in gold. And this also has that snake skin or snake scale kind of texture all over the box. I don't know if you can see that or not. Usually Kobe boxes are black and they've got those scales all over them, but this one has a white box, but it does still have that texture that we're used to getting. Tag reads Kobe 8 Protro. The colors are white, metallic gold, and black. I had actually told my good buddy that I would pull the trigger if prices dropped to $300. Well, they dropped to $320, and I just couldn't believe it was that low, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger. I didn't even stick to my guns with waiting until they dropped to $300. I really didn't think that they would drop much more than that, because reported stock numbers were really low on these. This pair came all the way from Hong Kong, and it took a long time for it to get here, but I think they were worth the wait. Part of the reason why I was so aware of the prices was because I kept checking on tracking and kept checking on the status and everything, and it seemed like they weren't moving at all. And every time I'd do that, I'd see where current prices were. If you look at these right now in the size that I got, a 10.5, I think right now the lowest asking price is around $280. I definitely should have waited. I didn't follow my own advice, but I don't really regret it. I do think before too long, this shoe will probably be more expensive than what I'm willing to spend on them, and I think it's a great looking shoe. A couple other special touches. It's got that Kobe emblem, which is the sheath underneath the box lid, and again we see that Mambacita emblem and Mambacita written out over top of it. And then we've got some gold paper that also has that Mambacita emblem all over it. And then enough of my yapping, check these things out. I think these are so cool looking. Another reason why I was willing to go ahead and get these and pay resale for them is because I had the halos in my collection, and I had actually planned on taking them off ice soon, but then whenever I saw these 8s release, I definitely like these a lot more than the halos. I just think they're more interesting, and as a father of girls, I feel like the inspiration behind this shoe makes me want it even more, if that makes sense. Predominantly black and white shoe with these little gold accents, and then on the back having Gigi and her number 2. I just love these. I like these way more than the halos, and the wild thing is, last time I looked, the halos in my size are selling for more than what these are, and I know there was way more numbers of the halos than what there was of this pair. And I think down the road, if I wouldn't have traded up, like traded in my halos for this pair, I think I would have regretted it. So that's what I ended up doing. I just figured I would get rid of the dead stock halos that I had in my size and switch them for something that I like a lot more. And a lot of times that's what I do. I don't feel bad about it. If I get a shoe and I don't get around to wearing it, I do not feel bad at all for selling a shoe that I got for retail in order to acquire a more expensive shoe that I struck out on. But it all ends up with you feeling like you pay retail anyway, if that makes sense. One other extra that came in this pair is just this gold. It almost looks like a keychain, but it's in the shape of a heart, and it's got that Mambacita emblem on it. I think that's really cool, and it's got a real nice heavy feel to it. Like, that doesn't feel cheap at all. I think that's a nice touch. Getting into the review, we can see it's a standard Kobe 8 tread pattern. It's got the little pivot point here up under the forefoot. Then it's got a combination of herringbone traction, and then there's kind of like some snake scales also going down the side of the shoe. But underneath the heel, you can see that we've got that Kobe emblem, which is the sheath. Of course, this being an 8, we do have that carbon fiber there at the midfoot. Just a cool looking outsole, pretty clean looking. As we come up to the midsole, we can see that that white rubber from the outsole meets a black foam. You have those little areas of braille down here on that midsole. And then up here towards the front, you have that sheath again. On the inside of the shoe, you can see that carbon fiber kind of wrapping up to the midsole area. Then as we get to the upper, it is just like a very breathable knit material, but it's got these butterflies all over it, and I think that was done very well. I feel like men and women could wear it and not have to feel like, oh, I'm wearing girly butterflies. I just think it looks great. Maybe it's just because it's all black and white. I'm not sure what it is, but I think it was done very, very well. And I love the butterfly effect that you have over this whole upper. I think it's pretty cool looking. On the very front of the toe box, you have that clear protectant area that's over top of that knit. I'm not sure if that helps with structure by itself, but it definitely keeps the toe from getting all messed up of these shoes, because it is just a very breathable, very thin mesh or knit type material. We have a gold swoosh on the outside of the shoe, and that is embroidered on, and I think that looks really nice. And then we have this hard plastic heel anchor going across the back of the shoe. On the right shoe, it has the number 2, and on the left shoe, it has Gigi's name written out on it. And these are both over top of that sheath emblem, and I think that's a really cool design. I like the way that looks, especially in these black and white colors. On the inside of the shoe, up near the collar, we have another gold embroidered swoosh. It has a black synthetic tongue, and at the top of that, it's got gold stitching embroidered on for the Kobe emblem. And this is a more padded tongue. I am going to be doing a review of the Venice Beaches here soon. That's another Kobe 8, but I keep waiting for when my wife will be able to join me, because that's her first pair of Kobe's, and I want to get her reaction and get her to put them on, and I'm just waiting for our schedules to align so we can make that video together. But this pair of Kobe 8s has the padded tongue. Venice Beach Kobe 8s have that thin OG style tongue. I would venture to say that this is probably more comfortable. I've only ever worn an 8 that had a tongue like this, but I really think that this style is going to be much more comfortable, but I'll have to put them on to verify that. But like I said, stick around to the channel because soon I'll be doing a review with my wife on this pair. I think these are great. We both got these, and I think we plan on wearing them on vacation together this year. These only came with black flat laces in the shoe, and I think those look nice. I can't imagine swapping them. If you could find a flat pair of laces to match this gold perfectly, that might hit pretty hard, but I don't know if I'll be able to find that. So for now, I think the black laces to match the tongue looks just fine. These do have kind of like a satin type sock liner. It's very padded up here around the collar. I do think it's going to be really comfortable. And then these do have that Kobe 8 style insole, and it's black in color. I don't know if you can see down there or not, but that has a sheath on it as well. But that was a pretty quick look at these Kobe 8 Mombasitas. Like I said, I struck out on the Kobe 6s. I did go for the Kobe 4 Mombasitas, but those weren't as high on the list as what these and the 6s are. I think if I had to put them in order so far, the 6s are my favorite, these are my second favorite, and then the 4s are right behind that. I was worried that if I didn't pull the trigger on these now, I would end up missing my opportunity, because if you look at the Kobe 6s, I think they're selling for up around $1,000 or something, and I'm just not going to pay that for a pair of shoes. I don't feel bad about getting these for $320. I'm sure prices will go up in the future, but even if it takes a long time, I'm not going to be mad that I spent a little extra on them. I think this is a pair that's worth having in the collection. I really wanted my own pair of Mombasitas, and I think these things are absolute fire. Let me know what you think about these. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. I'm out.